Welcome, friends. We are Ruby and Albert.
Hi guys. Have you ever had the moment where you realize you are never going to have a best friend again? That one person who used to know everything about you. The one who supposedly always had your back. What if we told you that is a truth we have come to terms with? Stick around because we are about to share why we are letting go of the best friend label and why it might be the best decision we have ever made.
So let's dive in. So, unfortunately, we have had this experience as well, having best friends. They are called best friend, but many times, as we have experienced, they are not best friends.
At times, you trust that they will be there for you in the good, in the bad, but unfortunately, that is not the case.
No.
They only want to be around you for the good moments, for what they enjoy. But when you really need them, are they really there for you? Unfortunately, we have experienced that they weren't really there for us. Instead of being a benefit to call someone your best friend, it turned out to be a complete nightmare.
Yes. And we thought it was just us, right? But we know other people, right? Acquaintance. You see in their platform, oh, they hang around, they're always together in holidays, oh, like best friends, right? And suddenly they stop hanging around. You stop seeing that they're posting bad things about each other, right? When they're supposed to be best friends.
Yes, so it's something that we have realized that obviously doesn't only happen to us. It happens very frequently. Perhaps you might have your Facebook account and see a lot of people posting so many things, hanging out together, going to restaurants, gathering together for holidays, practically doing everything together. And you stop to think, oh wow, they have the best friendship in the world. They seem to get along so well. It seems like they're so much alike. They have the same values. It just seems like perfect. But all of a sudden, after a few months or even a year, things start to shift. You start seeing that they no longer post things together. And it's not like we're being nosy and checking other people's life or our acquaintance lives, but
But it comes out there. Why? Because they want you to know their lives too.
Yes, they want you to know their lives. So it pops up in our feed and we're looking at it and then we start going, oh, for example, Samantha and Melissa are no longer posting pictures about each other with their husbands or families, whatever the case might be. They're just posting things solo now. And all of a sudden, we see a dramatic turn. Now they're posting bad things about each other in their Facebook accounts. And I think that is super immature, first of all. I mean, those are things that you should
fix personally.
Fix together, like in person. There's no need for us to be posting our own personal drama out there in Facebook if it's not to serve a purpose to help someone, like we're doing with our YouTube account, for example, as an experience that we're going through, but just for people to see it and comment and feel sorry for what you're going through or whatever and not really serve a purpose. I don't see that being the greatest thing to do, but everyone is different.
But it serves a purpose though, because then you see it and then that's when we know there's no best friends.
Yeah.
There's no best friends.
Because at times, we have come to conversations between ourselves and be like, are we the only ones who are going through this? Are we wrong for not wanting to have a best friend anymore? But then you see it happening more and more, and not just on social media, but with your neighbors and everything. That they used to be such close friends, husband, wife, with the husband and wife, and then something happens where they just split. And unfortunately, they don't split in a good way. It gets ugly sometimes where they start talking about things that they shouldn't be talking about because whatever you guys said to each other or whatever you're supposed to say to each other between that friendship is supposed to stay within. But I guess
and that happens because they're not mature. They're not mature, and sometimes they just want to cause drama, or they just feel like releasing whatever they feel at the moment without thinking first and then acting, right?
Exactly.
So they act at the moment, and sometimes they don't care if they hurt someone with the words that they're using, or because, again, being immature, they just blur things out without thinking
about the consequences of doing that. We have come to the conclusion that maturity doesn't have an age number.
Oh no.
Maturity sometimes hits people at an earlier age, perhaps mid or early 20s even, and other people don't hit maturity until late 30s or even past the 40s. Mm-hmm. So without wisdom, there's no good judgment. But we have seen those things happen on social media. But even before that, I remember personally, in my perspective, I had a girlfriend. She was pretty much my best friend. And it's true, you never get to know someone until an ugly situation rises up. And that's when you see that that person really isn't who you thought she was. And for quite some time during our friendship, I was living in a different state, and we still would gather, make our effort to get together and always spend time together and talk and text and everything. And it seemed like we had so many things in common. We both had kids, we were both married, our children were around the same age, and it felt great. It felt great, and it just turned out to the point that when I really needed her, she wasn't there. And on the other hand, I was always there for her. We started spending more time together, and I don't know if it was a different stage in her life that she was going through, but I saw some big changes in her personality, big changes in the way she would approach me now. I didn't feel sincerity from her anymore. I felt like deep inside of her, she was really hiding the way she felt about me. For some reason, throughout our friendship, she changed. And instead of being supportive, she would just start to cause drama, to cause problems. Something she didn't like, she would make a big deal about it, and also trying to make problems between us. Mm-hmm. And very judgmental, and if we wouldn't want to agree to do something that she wanted to do, it was just a big problem. It was just a big mess. And unfortunately, all those years that I thought I was being friends with someone that I thought I knew wasn't really the way I thought she was. So it's like they say, she showed me her true colors.
Yeah. She
showed me her true personality, who she truly was.
And the reason is because then you see them as a best friend. And when supposedly it's your best friend, you give them authority to come to your house whenever you want. You give them the authority to say whatever they think it is right, and try to order you around or manipulate you in different ways, because that's who they are, and because you give them so much trust that trust sometimes it can turn to be horrible, and then that's when the problems start. People that we know that have told us stories that they even give them a key of their house, and whenever they want they can go inside the house even if you're not there. And that causes issues as well, right? So when you let someone in your life
to a such deep degree, it will definitely cause a conflict.
Yeah, and that's what Ruby did.
I gave her too much trust. I gave her too much power in my life, where she was starting to make decisions for myself. Yeah. Without me knowing it, without me acknowledging that, because I was lacking of self-awareness. I was lacking of validation. I was seeking validation from her. In a way, I was seeking others' validation in that stage of my life, and I wanted to please her in everything that I could, so that wouldn't hurt our friendship. And not having the self-awareness of what's going on around you, it doesn't matter if it's with your best friend or a family member or whatever that case might be, causes a lot of problems. So
And it causes so much problems that it can even hurt other friends that you have. Like they crawl slowly into your life, that they remove your friends. They want to be like you. They start acting like you. They want to wear your clothing.
Yeah.
They want to wear your makeup. They want to wear your perfume. Everything. They want to be exactly like you.
Yes.
And why? Because sometimes it's either jealousy, or sometimes they have a low self-esteem, and that's when it starts pretty much hurting the other person. These kind of friends are just not friends. They either want to benefit from you, and it can cause your relationship, losing your other friends. It can cause your job.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
It is unfortunate. It's something to have in mind, to be really cautious about who you let in your personal circle, how much power you give them into your life, whether you're married or not. Because once they get the power, it's really hard to let go of that.
Oh, yeah.
Before you know it, they start making decisions for you. If you don't agree, they make you feel bad about saying no, and
exactly.
When it just plays tricks with your mind, and it's not good for your mental health.
Yes.
It was a horrible experience for me personally, so that is the reason why I will not ever label someone a best friend again, because by doing that, it's just giving them too much power over my life, and I cannot do that, because the only one who has control over that should be me. The only one who has control over my life should be me, to be able to make decisions that impact my life without having anyone else's input or asking for validation from other people.
Yes. You know what? Yes, it's good to have friends. If you want to have friends, right? It's not bad. I'm not saying that friendship is a bad thing. It's great. But there's always a limit of how much you let that person in your life and beyond there. Because if you're not cautious, that's when that relationship can actually go to sour. And you don't want that.
It takes a different turn when we decide to give too much power to someone else, even though we might consider them like a great person or a great friend. You just never know what's going to happen down the road.
Yeah.
Right now, everything can be great. You guys just met, or maybe it's a few months down the road. It's a great coworker, whatever the case might be. But you never know what life is going to throw at you years down the road, like in my case, where things can change. And that's why it's important to know how much you can share with someone, because that can always backfire at you at some point. And if you end up changing friendships, or if you end up changing your friends, you can easily let go and go on with your life without making it such a big deal or making it any type of conflict. You can just move on. Yeah. And that also comes in place with any type of relationship, really.
It does.
We have to be focused who we let into our inner circle. And I know when we're younger, we are more immature. And like I mentioned, maturity doesn't come with an age label either. But it just depends how soon you reach that level of maturity, of learning the importance of who you let in your life and how much information you actually share with them.
Yes, and if you do have a best friend, that is fine.
Yes, that's amazing.
Great for you, and it's amazing. We're not saying that it's bad again. We're just sharing our experience with you and why we don't have best friends.
Yeah, and sharing awareness.
Yeah, and if somebody has gone to something similar, we would like to hear from your story.
Let us know in the comments below. What is your experience with this topic? Have you encountered anything similar? Let us know in the comment section.
Or have you had a best friend since you were in high school and you're still best friends? How do you do that? How did you guys maintain your friendship for those many years?
That will definitely be interesting to know as well. Let us know if you have a successful friendship for many years, because it is rare. And if you do have a great friendship, treasure that and take care of that, because it is truly rare. We are in our 40s. We are in our early 40s, and this is coming from someone who have lived quite a lot. We have a lot of experience in different things, and we still haven't been able to find a person who we can call a true friend, not even a best friend, but a true friend that we can trust and know that is gonna uplift us when we need it, and we're gonna uplift them when they need it as well. So It is a rare thing to find nowadays, at least. And I know a lot of it possibly contributes to social media, that nowadays everything is so much easy by sending them a like, a big thumbs up in their Facebook, Instagram, or whatever the case might be, that sometimes people forget the richness of spending time together in person, face to face, and actually talk. I truly miss that.
Me too.
I don't know if it's because we are in our early 40s, like I mentioned, but I truly miss that.
But we haven't closed our doors either. We do miss it, and it would be so nice to have a friend.
To have people around us that we can truly trust, and to a certain degree, of course, but that we can enjoy having around. But sometimes we have to know, friends, that God also removes people from your life, and there's a purpose for it. If they don't serve a good purpose for you, if they're stopping the purpose that God has in your life for you, it is best for God to remove that toxic relationship or toxic friendship, in this case, from your life. Because if it's not going to serve a good purpose, if it's just causing you to be distracted from your goals, from your personal growth, then it's not worth it, right? But if it's serving a great purpose, then glory to God. That's great. Yes, and God works that way sometimes, where from one day to another just remove someone from your life, and at times you can be like, whoa, how did that happen so fast?
And we glorify God for that, because then we start realizing that God did it for a great purpose. In conclusion, if you have a best friend, treasure it and
take great care of that friendship.
Yes.
And if you're in the same boat like us, that's okay. Don't feel alone. Don't feel left out. Don't feel the loneliness or feel like there's something wrong with you because you don't have a best friend. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with us. It's just that, like you mentioned, we haven't found a person that can align with us, that can align with our values, with what we want to do in life. Things that matter to us, that should matter to them as well. That way we have true things in common and we can both bring value to each other.
Yes.
So there's nothing wrong with taking your time, taking things slow. And if you run into someone like we mentioned ourselves, then so be it. That would be great. Just always have in mind that you never get to know someone.
Or be careful who you let in your life.
Or be careful who you let in your inner circle. And just be cautious of it, of how much information or how much power you want to give them in your life. And as long as you do that, you'll be great. Yes. And as always, we hope that through our experience, you can learn something valuable for your life. Yeah. If this video has added any value to you, please consider subscribing to our channel and share this video with someone else who might also need to hear it.
Thank you for watching this video. And we are on our way to 1,000 subscribers, and we would love for you guys to subscribe and help us reach this goal.
Yes, become part of our community, friends, and leave a comment below with your own life lessons. We will love to hear if you have gone through a similar situation with a best friend like us.
Blessings, and see you on our next video.
Take care.